The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) has dramatically increased its scrutiny of cryptocurrency projects in 2025, signaling a transformative shift in the regulatory landscape. Once seen as a loosely governed frontier for innovation, the crypto market is now facing mounting enforcement actions, lawsuits, and warning letters from the SEC. This crackdown stems from growing concerns about fraud, market manipulation, consumer protection, and the systemic risks posed by unregulated digital assets. As blockchain technology continues to evolve, so too do the challenges it presents to traditional legal frameworks. This video explores the top 10 reasons the SEC is intensifying its regulatory actions against crypto projects in 2025, shedding light on the agency's motivations and the broader implications for the industry. 1. The rise in crypto-related fraud and scams. One of the primary reasons behind the SEC's heightened action is the surge in fraudulent crypto schemes. In 2024 alone, billions of dollars were lost to rug pulls, pump and dump operations, fake ICOs, and Ponzi-style DeFi platforms. These incidents have harmed both retail and institutional investors, eroding trust in the market. The SEC, tasked with protecting investors, has responded with greater enforcement, particularly against projects that use misleading marketing or failed to disclose key risks. In 2025, fraud cases have become more sophisticated, often masked behind anonymous teams and complex tokenomics, prompting the SEC to act more aggressively. 2. Unregistered securities offerings. The long-standing debate over whether certain crypto tokens qualify as securities under U.S. law remains central to the SEC's crackdown. Many crypto projects have launched tokens through initial coin offerings, ICOs, initial DEX offerings, IDOs, or airdrops without registering with the SEC or qualifying for exemptions. The Howey test, a legal benchmark used to determine if an asset is a security, is now being applied to a broader range of tokens in 2025. Projects that promised future profits, had centralized leadership, or sold tokens before their platforms were live have especially come under fire for offering unregistered securities. 3. Market manipulation and insider trading. As trading volumes surged in 2024 and 2025, so did cases of market manipulation and insider trading within crypto. Wash trading on decentralized exchanges, insider information leaks from centralized exchanges, and orchestrated whale dumps have become common. The SEC, in collaboration with other federal agencies, is focusing on bringing legal clarity to these practices. With growing access to blockchain analytics tools, the SEC is now better equipped to trace suspicious transactions and identify actors behind manipulative behaviors. Projects failing to implement anti-manipulation controls or benefiting from price manipulation are facing swift enforcement actions. 4. Failure to provide transparent disclosures. Transparency is a cornerstone of U.S. securities law, and the SEC expects companies, including crypto projects, to provide clear disclosures about their operations, risks, token distribution, and use of funds. In 2025, many projects are still issuing vague white papers without verified audits or financial disclosures. Some even obscure team identities or misrepresent their user bases and partnerships. The SEC's increased focus on transparency stems from the need to ensure investors have access to truthful, verifiable, and complete information before making financial decisions. Projects that fall short are being penalized or forced to suspend token sales. 5. Inadequate compliance with anti-money laundering (AML) laws. The decentralized nature of crypto has made it a hotbed for illicit finance, prompting the SEC to collaborate with the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network (FinCEN) and the Department of Justice (DOJ) in 2025. Many decentralized exchanges and DeFi platforms still lack Know Your Customer (KYC) and AML protocols. These gaps have facilitated money laundering, terrorist financing, and sanctions evasion. The SEC's crackdown includes legal actions against platforms that either ignore these obligations or falsely claim compliance. The message is clear. If a crypto project facilitates financial transactions, it must adhere to the same AML standards as traditional financial institutions. 6. Misleading or false marketing practices. Crypto projects have often leaned on hype to attract investment, sometimes crossing the line into deceptive marketing. The SEC has increased enforcement against projects that use celebrity endorsements, paid influencers, or social media campaigns to mislead retail investors. In 2025, regulators have become especially wary of shill campaigns that omit risk factors or exaggerate project potential. The SEC is now investigating both the projects and promoters involved, even if disclaimers are posted. This crackdown reflects a broader effort to protect inexperienced investors from falling prey to viral but misleading investment opportunities. 7. Increased systemic risk to the broader financial system. As crypto becomes more integrated with traditional finance, through ETFs, institutional adoption, and tokenized assets, the potential for systemic risk has grown. The collapse of major lending platforms and algorithmic stablecoins in prior years showed how interdependent and fragile the crypto ecosystem can be. In 2025, the SEC is taking a more proactive role in evaluating how interconnected crypto platforms could pose a threat to financial markets. Projects offering lending, borrowing, or derivative products without proper oversight are facing heightened scrutiny, especially those that serve U.S. customers but operate offshore. 8. Resistance to regulatory engagement. A key reason for SEC enforcement is the widespread resistance from crypto firms to engage with regulators. Many founders operate anonymously or set up in jurisdictions with lax laws, claiming decentralization while still exerting significant control. The SEC has taken the position that decentralized is not a shield from accountability if a core team is making critical decisions. In 2025, the agency is targeting projects that evade subpoenas, ignore investigative requests, or refuse to register even when advised. This resistance has not only delayed progress but also hardened the SEC's resolve to enforce through litigation. 9. Mismanagement of customer funds. Following scandals like the collapse of FTX and other custodial platforms, the SEC is intensely focused on how crypto projects handle user funds. Misappropriation, co-mingling of company and user funds, or lack of secure custody practices have led to high-profile bankruptcies and massive losses. In 2025, the SEC is investigating projects that store funds without third-party audits or proof-of-reserve systems. Custodial risk, once seen as a technical issue, is now firmly within the SEC's regulatory reach, with enforcement actions targeting both centralized and decentralized custodians that put investor assets at risk. 10. Global regulatory alignment and political pressure. Lastly, the SEC's intensified approach in 2025 is part of a global movement towards standardized crypto regulations. As the EU, UK, and Asia roll out comprehensive crypto frameworks, the US is under mounting pressure to lead or risk falling behind. Lawmakers and global financial bodies are urging agencies like the SEC to clamp down on harmful practices and establish legal clarity. The G20 has also emphasized the need for coordinated action against cross-border crypto crimes. In this context, the SEC's crackdown is as much about asserting jurisdiction and setting precedent as it is about direct enforcement. The SEC's crackdown on crypto in 2025 is not a sudden overreach. It's a culmination of years of regulatory gaps, bad actors, and growing public concern. As the crypto industry matures and its impact on the broader financial system becomes undeniable, regulation is not only inevitable but necessary for its long-term sustainability. The 10 reasons outlined above reflect a comprehensive shift in the SEC's priorities, from reactive enforcement to proactive oversight. While the crackdown poses short-term challenges for many projects, it also opens the door for a more secure, transparent, and institutionalized future. For crypto to thrive, it must evolve beyond its Wild West roots, and that evolution begins with accountability.